Hey there, guys. All right, today we are back with some more overly sarcastic productions. This time, though, taking a little break from the trope talks and heading on over to a Fables and Folktales episode. This one on Prince Lindworm. So we're going back to the Welsh. I love the Welsh folktales on this series. They've always been like, I think, some of my favorites. If I'm remembering right. Um, but yeah, before we dive in, make sure you go and check out the links in the description box below. I would love it if you join the Discord and follow me over at Twitch. You know what's been most interesting in the development of my own personal writing? I don't know if I'm going to title this as a historian or a fantasy author reacts. I feel like maybe both. I don't know. We'll see. Um, but uh, what's been great, what I've noticed in the development of my writing over the last uh 3 years that I've been writing is the steady influence of OSP in my writing in terms of fables and folktales. As I've progressed in my writing, each novel I've written, especially in this past year, I've written 5 novels in the last year alone. Um, each one progressively has a stronger influence of the telling of folktales being more prevalent in the body of the work. Um, people talking about folk tales, either from their culture, from different cultures. I created one that is somewhat Japanese inspired. Names come from name derivation comes from Japan, as well as the culture that tells the story is based off of Japanese culture. One of the elven kingdoms in my land, my world, or well, one of the elven cultures. Um, and yeah, I really love that tale that I made up. Uh, it's about I don't want to spoil, so I don't think I should say it. I'll withhold that one from me. You guys will just have to when it's out, which I don't know when it will be out. I'll just have to buy my book and read it. Get got. I don't know what that was. But anyways, Prince Lindworm.
There's something very modular about fairy tales. The individual building blocks are firmly established and don't tend to change. It's just the way they're arranged that makes a story unique. You got dashing princes, beautiful princesses, questing knights, benevolent kings and queens, evil magic people, good magic people, heroic peasants, cruel step parents, clever tricksters, talking animals, dragons, trolls, the works. Spin a few
Yeah.
wheels and throw a few darts, and out pops a fairy tale. The frog prince, a dashing prince, is cursed by an evil witch to become a friendly talking animal until he is saved by a beautiful princess. It's
Is there a pattern? Yes.
pretty telling that most of these stories don't even bother to name the characters. The role they fill matters a lot more than their actual individual character. But despite how basic the archetypes are, the stories they slide into can still be really unique. And while most of us have a passing knowledge of the big names like Red Riding Hood, Hansel and Gretel, and anything Disney ever monetized, there's a lot of really neat stuff out there that doesn't get the same kind of press. So today let's talk about a bite-sized Norwegian fairy tale with dashing princes,
Norwegian? Lindworm? That sounds like such a fucking Welsh name. What?
heroic peasants, and at least one dragon. Our story begins
And it had a dragon in the thumbnail, so I really just assumed Welsh. Fuck.
with a benevolent king and queen, who are regrettably also pulling duty as a tragic childless couple. The queen
Oh.
is pretty bummed out about that whole situation and is out for a walk sublimating her feelings about it when she stumbles on a mysterious old woman
Well, hello, dearie.
who happens to be a witch. The lady asks
Okay, here's what you're gonna do.
her what's wrong, and when the queen fills her in on the no kids cradle empty situation, she gives her some cryptic advice, telling the queen to take a two-handled jug and put it upside down in the corner of her garden overnight.
You hit it. Why?
The next morning, 2 roses will have grown under it, one red and one white. The queen should choose one rose to eat, red if she wants a son, white for a daughter, but under no circumstances should she eat both. The queen
She's gonna eat both, isn't she? Or both are gonna end up getting eaten?
heads home and takes her advice, not really expecting all that much, but the next day she finds that surprisingly, the witch was right on the money and the roses have really grown. She agonizes for a bit over which one to eat, reasoning that a son might eventually need to go off to war, but a daughter will have to marry some foreign lord eventually, and either way she'll lose the kids someday. Geez, way to be a downer about this.
God damn. She's depressed. Like me.
magical baby situation. Anyway, after a few minutes of dithering, she settles on the white one, but the rose turns out to be super delicious and nutritious, so she ignores the warning and
Oh, god damn it. Yep, of course.
eats the other one, too. Denying the explicit orders of a witch in a fairy tale? What could possibly go wrong? 9 months pass, and while the king is out warring, the
Oh, the baby's gonna turn into a dragon.
queen gives birth to twins, one healthy baby boy and one Lindworm,
Oh, no, as if... Okay.
aka a dragon. Ah, those magical pre-ultrasound days where every pregnancy was a surprise. Anyway, the Lindworm skedaddles out of there real quick, and the queen's like, well, hope that was a hallucination, and just doesn't
Who's a sweet little lonely child? It's you.
bring it up ever. Neato. So, years pass, and the dashing prince grows to be a very fine young man, and eventually he's sent off to find a suitably beautiful princess to be his bride. But when he tries to leave the kingdom, the road is blocked by a massive Lindworm.
Is he gonna fuck his sister, dragon? Norway, please don't. Please, please, please don't. Please. Please don't go where I think this could go. Please.
That tells him a bride for me before a bride for you. The prince
Oh, okay, so it's just gonna be a competition? Okay. Okay. It didn't go where I thought it could have gone.
heads back, thoroughly confused, and the queen confesses that the Lindworm
If this were Greece, it would have gone the way that I thought it was gonna go.
is actually right on the money. Technically, he was born first, making him the older brother, so he kind of has to get married first. So the king starts
Hey, Rick, how'd you like to unite our two families in a non-specific way?
contacting far-off kingdoms to ask for a bride for his son, though he doesn't say which son, and when the requisite beautiful
Oh, wait. The Lindworm's also a boy? I thought because it was white that was the girl.
princess arrives, a lavish wedding is held, and she's married off to the Lindworm, who promptly eats her.
Bride. Oh, is she not with you?
The Lindworm still demands a bride, since evidently devouring the bride on the wedding night means the wedding doesn't count, so the king writes to a different kingdom, gets a
Oh, no.
second beautiful princess shipped over, and the exact same
Okay, son, this is becoming a problem. You can't just keep eating your brides.
thing happens. Now, never let it be said that these benevolent royals can't learn from their mistakes. The king's not too
But your majesty, she's all I have. Well, that is objectively untrue.
eager to make an enemy of a third kingdom, so instead he goes to his royal shepherd and tells him his beloved and conveniently expendable daughter is going to marry the Lindworm whether she wants to or not. It's always so lovely to see a ruler who really goes the extra mile to connect to his people like that. Now, the heroic
Exactly.
peasant girl obviously doesn't want to get eaten, so she does what any self-respecting protagonist would. She goes for a walk in the spooky woods, lamenting her doom until a mysterious old woman
Well, hello, dearie.
who happens to be a witch pops out of the woodwork to ask her what's wrong. The shepherd is filled
The king is marrying me off to his monster son to stave off a third diplomatic incident. Monster son? Who could have possibly foreseen this outcome?
her in on the situation, and the witch gives her some very specific instructions on how she can survive her wedding night. The wedding day arrives, lavish party, beautiful bride, commendably scaly groom, etc., etc. But that night,
I need you to listen very carefully.
following the witch's advice, the shepherdess has the castle staff bring her a few things. She layers on 10 dresses, preps 2 basins of lye and milk, and gets ready for some fairy tale shenanigans.
Did you get rounder? It was a big cake.
When the Lindworm tells
Lose the layers. You first, Buster.
her to ditch the dress, she tells him to lose his skin. He's a bit thrown
Excuse me? You heard me. I'd cross my arms, but I can't move my shoulders.
by this request, but agrees. But after he sheds the skin,
Oh, you wanted this one off too? Better get shedding then.
and surprise, she's got another dress on. Guess you better lose another skin if you want a piece of this. They repeat the process several times, and by the time the shepherdess is down to her last dress, the Lindworm is in pretty rough shape. This is when the plan enters phase 2. Following the witch's instructions to the letter, the shepherdess grabs a whip, which I guess
Kinky. I'm sorry. I'm just saying, I understand the whip. What's the milk and lye for? Why do you ask questions you know you don't actually want to answer?
the castle staff just assumed was for totally kosher bedroom fun times, dips it in the lye, and whacks the Lindworm with it. Then she dumps the milk over him, and then, possibly most surprisingly, she hugs him. The next day, the staff
Oh! The Lindworm's gonna turn hot!
are shocked to discover that the shepherdess is not only alive, but cuddling up to a very handsome, dashing prince, with
Yep. How did this happen? Ah! True love's first whip.
the Lindworm officially freed from his cursed existence by being quite literally whipped into shape. The kingdom
There are so many jokes I could make. There are so many jokes I could make. So many things I could say. I will abscond.
Is overjoyed and the wedding is held all over again, this time with feeling. The prince and the shepherdess are happily married for real this time, and everyone lives happily ever after, except for those two princesses who
Fuck me, I guess. I think it's kind of sweet.
got totally murdered. Sorry, ladies, but someone's got to pay the price for the rule of three.
Wake me up! Wake me.
This song, Red, tale as old as time, song as old as rhyme.
Wake up! Wake me up.
I can't focus now. I am, of course, referring to people not taking the advice of witches and folktales and then being shocked when everything goes bad.
Call my name and say
You might be thinking, hey, I thought the White Rose was supposed to be a daughter. Shouldn't the Lindworm be a woman? And you'd be right. Plot hole thing. Ah, I called a plot hole on a Norwegian folktale. Get wrecked, Norway. I'm pretty good at this storytelling thing. This was Fables and Folktales Prince Lindworm. This was really enjoyable. I love this one. This one, I thought maybe we were in for a tragedy, but it did not turn out to be a tragedy. And my expectations were subverted quite a couple times. So I'm really happy with this one. I hope you guys enjoyed. Remember to hit that like button and subscribe for more, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.